Welcome back, readers. I hope you are enjoying your story, Mercy Watson to the Rescue by Kate D. Camillo. Readers, let's revisit our story elements of a story before we jump back into reading today. This is a realistic fiction story because the events in the story are something that could really happen in real life. Okay, but let's review our storyline. If you remember, a storyline is the events of a story. It's the things that happen and that we could summarize. Let's look in a story. We have a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning of the story is when the main character is introduced. I want you to think, has the main character been introduced in the story? Of course, it's Mercy Watson. You will also hear of other characters, and we call those secondary characters. How do we know the difference between a main character and a secondary character? A main character is the character that kind of heads the story. We see them in pictures throughout the book and across the pages, and we also hear of them throughout the story more than any of the other characters. In the beginning of the story is when you will hear the characters. But you will also hear of more characters that come into the story throughout the middle of the story. And then the setting, we will hear of where the story takes place, but the setting also can change throughout the story. So let's listen to chapters 4 and 5 today, and let's see if we hear of any new characters coming in and if the setting changes throughout this part of the story. Chapter 4, I'm going to show you the pictures, the illustrations. Chapter 4, in the kitchen, Mercy sniffed the table. She sniffed the kitchen counters. She sniffed the floor. But there was no toast. There was not even a crumb of toast. Mercy's stomach growled in disappointment. I think disappointment might be a good word to describe Mercy right now. Boom, crack, help us, Mrs. Watson called. Mercy thought very hard. Where could she get a snack? And the answer came to her. Baby Lincoln always had sugar cookies. Baby Lincoln lived next door, and Baby Lincoln liked to share. Mercy took the kitchen doorknob in her mouth. She turned it. Help, Mr. Watson called again. Sugar cookies, thought Mercy. She stepped outside. Readers, let's see. What are the Watsons thinking? And what is Mercy thinking? Mr. and Mrs. Watson are thinking, help. Mercy's thinking, I'm hungry. Chapter 5. So we see new characters come in. The Lincoln sisters live next door to the Watsons. Eugenia Lincoln is the older sister. She has many opinions. One of Eugenia's opinions is that pigs should not live in houses. Eugenia often says, listen closely to me, baby. Pigs are farm animals. They belong on farms. They do not belong in houses. Yes, sister, says Baby. Baby Lincoln is the younger sister. She is the baby of the family. Baby agrees with everything Eugenia says. It is easier that way. But secretly, Baby has an opinion of her own. Baby's opinion is that Mercy is good company. At the Lincoln sisters' house, Mercy looked into Baby's window. She could see Baby sleeping. Mercy pressed her snout up against the window pane. Oink, said Mercy, but Baby did not hear her. Snuffle, said Mercy, but Baby did not wake up. Mercy tapped her hoof against the window. Baby sat up in bed. Who's there? Baby saw Mercy's snout pressed up against the window. A monster, shouted Baby. A monster's at my window. Mercy shook her head. Sister, shouted Baby. Help, help, a monster. Eugenia woke up. She did not put in her teeth. She did not put on her glasses. Eugenia went straight to the phone and called the fire department. There is a crisis of an uncertain nature at 52 Deekawoo Drive, said Eugenia Lincoln. Come immediately. And then Eugenia put on her robe and rushed to baby's room. In her opinion, Eugenia Lincoln was very good in a crisis. The end of chapter 5. Okay, readers, so for today's activity, I want you to think of what all did you learn in chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this adventure. Who are the characters that you heard throughout this storyline so far? And what are some words that we can use to describe them? And remember, we call those character traits. So in today's I want you to think about the characters that you heard and some words that we can use to describe them. Think about those traits that we heard today that describe those characters. So off you go, and let me know if you need anything. Thanks, readers.